Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversation. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Hey there, FEM Talkers, and welcome back to another episode of FEM Talk. We have a great show today, and should I say, Happy Valentine's Day? We can't start the show off without my girls, so let's go ahead and bring them in. We have Tracy, the Reset Coach.
Hey everybody, happy Valentine's Day. I got my love shirt on today.
Yay, me too.
Yes, wait, I have to show it.
There
Love is in the air.
Wonderful.
All right.
And then we have Brandy Kid.
Yay! It's me.
Welcome. Happy Valentine's Day, Brandykins.
Looks like love is everywhere, huh?
I know. And then we have Mimi. Mrs. Simmons. Happy Valentine's Day.
Yes, happy Valentine's Day.
And what does your shirt say? We all have something on our shirts today.
Pink.
It's called Pink and Fluffy. That's all.
Pink and fluffy.
Warm, pink and fuzzy. Welcome, ladies. How you guys doing?
Good.
Wonderful.
Are you guys ready for today's conversation?
Yes. I'm so
Me too.
excited.
You know, it's one of my favorite topics. I just love love. I love love. I do. But before we get into all of that, because we have some other guests who are going to join us in a few minutes, let's get into our Black. Look at that. Whoever is running that show in the background hit that thing right on the button. The Black. I love it. What I have for you guys today is some quick quotes from some very prominent Black people. I was gonna say Black history people from now, from today, and from back in the day, and just their take on what they consider love.
Okay.
Now I gotta put my glasses on just for a minute. All right. I am grateful to be loved and to be loved now and to be able to love because love liberates. Miss Maya Angelou. Love takes off the mask we fear, we cannot live without, and the ones we know we cannot live within. Mr. James Baldwin. We choose love. We love our children, our commitment to leaving them a better world, our love for our country, our love for our fellow citizens. That's what we choose. Miss Michelle Obama. Out of love, no regrets. Though the goodness be wasted forever, out of love, no regrets. Though the return be never. Mr. Langston Hughes.
I love it.
I found God in myself, and I loved her, and I loved her fiercely. Now I'm going to say her name wrong. Miss Natazaki Shange. Just so you guys know, she is no longer with us. A lot of them are not, but she's a younger lady who's no longer with us. Love is an endless act of forgiveness. Forgiveness is me giving up the right to hurt you after you hurting me.
Wow.
That is Tracy's girl.
I love that. Yay.
Yeah. Paradise is one's own place, one's own people, one's own world, knowing and known, perhaps even loving and loved. Miss Octavia Butler. The leaves believe such letting go is love. Such love is faith. Such faith is grace. Such grace is God. I agree with the leaves. Miss Lucille Clifton. To truly love, we must learn to mix various ingredients: care, affection, recognition, respect, commitment, and trust, as well as honest and open communication. Miss Bell Hooks. And this last one just says it in a nutshell. I love myself. Mr. Kendrick Lamar.
I love it.
I love it. I just love everybody's perspective, whether it was personal or just outward to the world, was just, it was almost like a Nike commercial. Just do it.
Yeah. I love it.
Me too.
So that's our take on Black history. And as you can tell, we have been replacing our hot topic with a Black history hot topic this month. It's kind of fun. So, without further ado, today's topic is Black love. I don't want my glasses on. It's Black love, because I want to get into the camera. And I want to know if you feel like we feel that it truly is real. So we're going to invite our other guests. You know, we love to have guests on this show. We're going to invite our other guests to join us, and we have some good conversations and questions for them. So, ladies, do you want to invite your significant others?
Yes.
Yay.
Honey, Snuggums.
Oh, wonderful.
I know, isn't this wonderful?
Oh,
Nobody called you Queenie.
Right.
Queenie ain't happy.
Welcome to the show, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Morris
Yes.
Johnson, and Mr. Lamont Simmons.
Hello.
How are you guys doing on this Valentine's Day? No, Queen.
Queen, enough. Sorry.
I'm going to open up the questions with the obvious one. I really didn't want to go with the obvious one, but for our viewers, let's just go with the obvious one. And I want you guys to tell us, what is Black love?
I'm going to defer to the man right here because when he saw the topic, he wrote an essay on what Black love is. But I mean, you don't have to read the whole thing.
Right,
but
I'm not reading it.
Okay, he's not going to read it. But
I have a short version.
Okay.
A snippet.
We was out on a date night, and she asked me the question, and I told her, I said, Black love is intense. We love hard, we play hard, we do everything hard. So it's very intense. It's not that it's a struggle every day, but what we go through, how we relate to each other, because we've both been through the struggle of dealing with the outside world, dealing with whether bias or racism that we deal with on an everyday, and then we still come home to find that sanctuary when we get home. Somebody that we can love, that we can bounce stuff off that happened to us. And it's just the everyday of knowing that somebody's got my back, no matter what.
Sounds like Queenie's got your back too.
You feel like I'm this close. I'm too close to her right now. So Queenie is very. That's the other woman. She's very jealous.
You're muted.
I was saying I love that. I love Queenie too, but I love that in a nutshell is that you have each other's back and every day. And much like one of those excerpts we read earlier, it was a choice.
Yeah. It definitely is. I think for me, Black love is knowing that for us and for so many Black couples, we don't see, a lot of people married around us. We are both products of divorce and separation. So for us, there was no example in front of us regarding what love should look like. So many Black couples face that. We hear from friends all the time on how difficult it is to find love. And then when we talk to a man or a woman about love, that becomes the conversation. Well, I don't think it works. I don't think it's real. I don't think it's happening. There was interesting comments that talked about, Black love, but it is different. There is a different intensity. I like how Lamont puts it, because we are against the odds. We are working against the norms, society, what society says. I remember going to a wedding and the Caucasian couple say, we believe in marriage, making a statement that we didn't believe in marriage. And I remember I had to get up and say, well, me and my husband that's been married for 32 years, we believe in marriage. I had to make the comment, and everybody started clapping because it was assumed that as a Black couple or as Black people, we don't believe in marriage. So, Black love is different. It is intense, but when it's on, it's on. And I think that's what we have.
I like that. When it's on, it's on. I love that. Johnsons, what is Black love to you two?
Black love's complicated. Definitely a lot of obstacles. I don't want to be overboard, but how I feel, I think a large amount of the country is invested against Black love. Mm-hmm. When you can keep a Black man and Black woman apart, there's a monetary value there. There's a vulnerability level that's that's also there too, that can be used and exploited for the gain of certain people. There's a lot of love in our communities. I just think it's overshadowed by a bad media picture that, once again, it's monetized every day to make us look anti-marriage or anti-family, anti-community.
I agree.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good.
Just before you give your answer, Brandy, I have to say today, of course, I watch the news every day, but today they were, overdoing it with Valentine's Day and love. I shouldn't say overdoing it, but they were really pouring it on. And on the channel that I was watching, they had no less than 7 or 8 couples, and they were, just giving their take on what love is, and everybody's getting engaged. And that was all, I'm all for love. But as I'm getting dressed and I'm walking out, I realized not one Black couple was on there today.
That's right.
Because why would you give the impression that Black love is real and that they too fall in love and make a commitment?
Exactly.
That's just my take. So I'm gonna reel myself on back and let Miss Johnson give her take.
I'm in total agreement with her. Black love is complicated, but it's complicated for all the best reasons. If it was easy, more people would do it. And Black love in particular versus other cultures is more hindered due to the fact that the destruction of the Black family has been intentional over the years. So Black love has a very special place, not only in our household, but like in general, because our children deserve the right to thrive just like any others. And everybody knows that Black children and any child thrives better with both parents in a household, and even more so if both parents are married. Now, we know all relationships don't work, but it's still important to do that, the one accord thing for the child's sake. Even if y'all can't get along as a single household, you should still be able to stay on the same page and love each other enough for that child's sake. You can still be respectful and cordial and not have to be married, but marriage is one of the greatest things that you can fight for.
That's good. That's
good.
I love that. I like that Brandy said that you can fight for.
Yes.
Because I think that's another pillar of Black love and Black marriage is the fight. There's a fight. There is a constant fight. I love how my brother talked about the social how society has put a true effort against Black love and the Black family. Brandy said it. There's been a systematic destruction towards the Black family, and the effort to keep us to keep together. It's a fight. But I'm a believer in that God fights for us, and if we don't fight for it, we lose. Just because we show up for the battle, we win. God says we win. So the fact that we show up for the battle every day, we win. And that's the difference. We fight because we show up. Every day we make an intention that we are going to stay together. I remember when we took out of our vocabulary divorce. We took out it was unspoken. You know how when we growing up, or even now, you're not supposed to curse in front of your parents, right? So there's certain words you just don't say in the house. In our house, we do not speak. We do not say divorce. We came to an agreement that we will never. We can have an argument, but in that argument, we will not bring up divorce. That will never be the conversation we go to if we're struggling with something. So it's things like that we've learned how to fight. We've learned how to get through the situation. We've learned, we studied how to problem solve. And that's another piece. That's where the fight comes in at. The intentional effort to make sure your marriage stays together.
Absolutely. I just wanted to say, Mom, you have a few people in the in the chat room. That was Mom saying Happy Valentine's Day and hello.
Yeah.
I gotta mention, because you guys brought it up and you talked about the struggle and the fight and the things you do to offset what you see and what you hear. Welcome, Kathy Anderson. How you doing? And I want to go straight to one of the questions that I threw in the chat a minute ago, because it's like a tenet. So what do you guys do? What are your rituals, tenets? What are your rule breakers? Like you said, never say divorce.
Mhm.
What is it that you say or do that makes you stick true to the fact that you're going to stick this out, fight together, and continue to love?
Mm.
Well, number one, I love this woman. So that's my motivation when I, every day, no matter what no matter if she upsets me or if I upset her during the day, I just remind myself that I love this woman and she's not my enemy. She's there to help me. I'm there to help her.
Mhm.
And we look at different, whatever the issue is, or intense fellowship, as we like to call it. We make sure that it doesn't get to a level that we can't recover from. We don't say things to each other that we can't recover from, because you can say some things that, even though you might not mean them in the heat of battle, those words never get forgotten.
Right. That's good.
So we try not to say words that is going too far.
I like that.
When
Mhm.
we make sure, and then we just have a systematic thing of what we do. We talk it out, even if we have to, go. She might have to go to the store and shopping for a while. I might have to go downstairs to the man cave for a while and cool off. But then we're always going to come back, and then we're going to talk about the situation. Most of the time, I have to come back and apologize. Because 90% of the time it's probably my fault. But we don't let stuff linger too long anymore.
Yeah.
We used to, especially in our early days, stuff could go on for a week, a month, 2 months, and we still have that animosity toward each other. We try to limit that within 24 hours now.
Yeah.
So that by the next day, either she's throwing me an olive branch or I'm throwing her an olive branch. Saying we just need to, get past this and let's move on. Talk about whatever we can, and if we still disagree, then we just, that's when the olive branch comes in and say, you know what, I'm just going to forget about it.
Yeah.
And move on.
That's good.
That's our relationship is too important. Too many people email us, text us. Somebody posted on my Facebook. They said that they hold us personally responsible for love and marriage in their lives, what they're looking for in their relationship. So, people watch us. So, we can't be at odds, going for months and months at a time.
Right.
Because we become an example to others.
I like
Exactly.
that. I mean, especially our kids, our children. Our children. But just real quick, a real practical thing is we sleep in the bed every night.
Right.
And I'm gonna put it right there. A lot of couples, they have a fight and they make decisions, and then I'm sleeping downstairs. We made a decision early in our marriage, no matter what, we're gonna stay in the bed. And I bring that up because I know I have talked to many a couple that does that, and they find themselves weeks, months, and now some of them don't even sleep together anymore. So I for me, it's something that we decided a long time ago. No matter what, we're gonna sleep in the bed together every night.
That's so good.
That is.
Yeah. You talked about, you both couples talked about, the systems and kind of the outside struggles, and there's enough to deal with internally, right? Whether it's something small or it's something big. So how do you mitigate what you allow to come inside the house, right? Because it could be something that happened at work, I don't know, something that happened with family members, right? Families always trying to get involved with people's marriages. So how do you mitigate, the issues from the outside world so that you can keep it tight inside? And Brandy and
That's an
Maurice?
excellent question, because Mr. Johnson has a very high level of responsibility on his full time. So there are days that he comes in highly stressed out and he might get a little snippy or whatnot. But I've gotten to the point now that I don't take it personally, because I know that when he's at work doing his thing, that he can't decompress the way that he needs to. So even if he comes, if he's slightly irritated and doesn't feel like really talking in the moment, I don't take it personally. I just ask him if there's anything that he needs to decompress and let the day go and stay out of his way until he's got time to decompress, play the game, go through his phone, do what he needs to do to take his mind off things and come back to the fact that he's home now and he runs everything around here. And I love being able to do that, because there are some women, black women can be notorious for this, that they're gonna nitpick and nag and try and get them to talk, and you don't feel like talking yet, and give them a moment, back off, get the man a sandwich and a cookie.
That's good. That's some good advice right there.
Right.
Just stop talking, get a cookie and a sandwich, and
That's good.
Yeah, I have some stressful days, but naturally everybody does. It's a stressful job. That being said, I always tell Brandy, ask me how I'm doing, but don't ask me about my day. Because the day is trash. That's just the cost I have to pay to be a provider. So let's leave that behind. But in regards to, hey, what's going on, or what's happening with you, or what do you need, or how do you feel, 100%. But the day, the job, and hustling, who did this or that, it's all noise. It just
And that lends itself to, I love that, because it lends itself to not bringing the outside in, right? To not have to rehash what happened at work and allow yourself to, decompress and enjoy your time with your wife. So that's good stuff.
I like that.
Everybody knows our family. Yeah.
And it teaches you to know. I'm sorry I cut you off, but it teaches you to know your person. And for that, it's it's a knowing and a trusting. Like, I could come home and be aggravated with work, but I know she is just gonna be like, all right, let me give him 15 minutes, 20 minutes, take a shower, whatever, give him something to eat, and she's gonna be good with that. That's the trusting part, friend. I like that. I love that.
That's the trusting part. Brandy said something that talk about Black history that we have gotten away from, and you made mention of give him a sandwich and a cookie. Serving your husband coming home is still real. Being able to set a plate in front of him. And I remember watching my stepmom serving my father every night his plate, his drink, his napkin with peanuts, because he loved peanuts. So he always had a napkin with peanuts and grape juice. I'm telling you. And that was his thing. But every night she had it there for him. She would start with the peanuts and the grape juice, then he would eat that, then she would bring the plate, and then after that, the whole atmosphere is different. And serving Lamont, I don't have a problem serving him. I don't have a problem coming in and giving him a plate of food. I remember back in the day when somebody told me, "Don't you be serving that man, girl. He get his food himself." I remember somebody telling me that. And God checked me on that one. God checked me on that one and told me, if you're going to submit, you're going to submit. And it's not about serving; it's about submission. And submission there's power in submission. And I say power because when God tells you to do something, He's telling you for a position of gaining. And He knew that you would gain a man's love as you submit to him. So in submitting to my husband, if it is serving him food or whatever he's in need of, submitting allowed him to gain his love.
Right.
And that gaining his love strengthened our marriage every day.
Yeah.
That's good
And I
stuff.
just want to touch on. I guess it's different for a woman because Melissa has a high stress job, but she comes home, she wants to talk about it, and then that's her release from it. So I tend to be more of a sounding board for her when she comes home because then she gets it out, and then she could go on about her evening. So I let her talk. I try not to comment too much hard. But
That's the protector in you. You know, that's how you men do.
I
That's the
remember it
protector.
all. I know the faces, and I got the names and everything, names and addresses. But I let her get it out because I know I'm not going to have a good evening with her unless she gets this out.
Nice.
And
you know that.
Right.
It's good. I love that. I just love hearing that.
I would have a good night. And if she's still wound up from work because she still has it in her, I'm not going to have a good night at all. So
I love it.
So I let her get it out so we can move on with the evening. Whatever we want to do, just watch a movie or whatever.
Yeah, I love it.
I want to circle back to that family piece. Our relationship actually became stronger when I started putting first things first. And so people can visit our house, but nobody will ever be able to live with us. Like you got in our understanding and how we function, you got to finance your own foolishness. So we love the peace of our household, and therefore we don't allow family drama and stuff to come past the door. You got a problem? We can talk about it somewhere other than our house.
That's right. It's almost like it's your safe space. It's the sanctity of your house for you too.
Exactly.
It's just like your relationship. It should be unpenetratable.
He says this dog here that's acting like he doesn't know how to act.
Both dogs. They said if you're gonna invite the family, you can invite the whole family.
The whole family. That's right.
The whole family.
Right. Both houses.
So good, right? That's so good about the family piece. And talk about Black love. I think that's a part of our Black families are known to be strong, are known to be in and out of each other's lives because of economics. A lot of us live together. A lot of us, eat together. We pool our money to be together. So being able to sustain or create boundaries in your marriage, in your family is important. It's so important. I remember when I had to sit my beautiful husband down and say, okay, we need to talk about this because he came from a family where every Sunday they're supposed to eat together. Every Sunday we had to be there. And for a minute we were doing that every Sunday. And I was like, so when friends and new family members would ask us, well, can you come over? Well, no, we going to the family house. I was like, whoa.
Sunday's off limits.
Off limits.
Saturday maybe, but Sunday is off limits.
But it became this thing we had to, which I love what Brandy said. We had to figure out the boundaries that family would have with our marriage and with our family, our children, and we are five, so we had to create that family bond. And separated from the big family, not always, but made compromises. And we finally, after some time, came up with good compromises. Who had holidays, who didn't, and when we would be alone as a family, and when we would be alone as a couple. So I think I love that Brandy talked about those boundaries because those are so important, and that could easily destroy a marriage.
Right.
That's the fastest way to destroy a marriage, honestly, involving people that don't ask single people about married people stuff.
Thank you.
You got to be able to separate the two because a single person is always going to respond from the perspective of a single person. A lot of people that get above the age of 30 to 35 that aren't married yet, it's because they're very stuck in a specific way. Submission is a bad word. Compromise is a bad word. And then we got unrealistic expectations of the so-called person we want and refuse to bend a little on some things, because sometimes especially if you grew up in a single parent household without the father in particular, you don't know what a real man is. And when you encounter one, he seems overbearing and pushy and demanding. When in all actuality, he's a leader. He might need to learn how to say things a little bit differently, but that's a leader. And you want somebody that's going to lead and control the household in a way that's going to benefit everybody.
Can't find my bell. Ding,
Yeah,
ding,
no,
ding.
I was gonna say, I was about to mention that yes. But we're gonna take a quick commercial break, everybody, and we are going to come back. Do not go anywhere because you want to hear from these married couples. And before we go to commercial, can you guys tell everybody, as Melissa said it earlier, how long you've been married, and then Brandy and Maurice, how long you've been married?
We are going on 30.
We're 32 years. We'll be 33 years in June.
All right. All right.
And we will be 12 years in May.
Yes. So you see, everybody, there's some longevity here.
Yes.
They know what they're talking about. All right, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and we will be right back.
Operate out of your dreams and your vision and not other people's expectation. Having breast cancer wasn't my choice, but the decision to live healthy so that I could stand before you here today, that's choice. You can choose this very moment to change your life from every perspective.
Tracy Randolph was our speaker. She came back because so many people liked her first presentation. I was one of those people that joined her fitness group, and it made me a better leader.
I grew up in a community, but they had limiting beliefs on what a little black girl could do. Everything that you do in this life is a choice. I choose to live healthy. I choose to change my mindset. I choose to be everything that I dreamed of because I choose faith and I choose me. Live healthy, be everything that you can be today. Choose yourself.
Welcome back to our Black Love is Real Fem Talk Tuesday. We were having such a good conversation. We can't wait to bring these ladies and gentlemen back in. Hello. Uh-oh. Oh, look at all that cuddling going on. I love it.
Yeah, we're going to get closer at the commercial break.
I see. Well, that just opens the door for the question that Tracy and I were mimicking in the chat, because I wanted to know, what makes it work. And one of her questions was, how important is date night?
Yeah. Date night is great, but I just like spending time with him in general. Nice. So a date isn't necessary. Just watching him play his game is enough for me.
It's a good tool for busy people to stay in tune. I don't think it's a must, but for people that are busy, they're going in different directions, different schedules. It's a great way to commit to basically setting that time aside for each other, so you get to know each other, keep in tune, what's going on here, there. It's I'm not gonna knock it. It's a good thing. We do it, but we don't have a date night schedule.
Okay.
Right, I agree.
We jump out in the world and run when we feel it in our hearts to do so.
Right. We just say we always say we want to do a date night and have a plan every week, but life happens, and work schedules or whatever. And so we can't commit to a certain night a week or something like that. But we feel that when we need to do it and we both know it, so, let's go to lunch. Let's go to dinner. Let's drive up to the mall and do something, so that we know we can feel, something slipping away. you know, in our relationship, and say, we need to reconnect. And Melissa always has our date nights or lunch dates in the daytime with a purpose. So we always got questions, and we're asking each other, deep, sometimes deep, sometimes fun questions, and we both answer them, and we continue to learn about each other. I mean, even today we went out for Valentine's Day. We went to lunch, and we had a bunch of questions, and we got to one topic, and that turned into a 20-minute conversation just on that one question.
Yeah.
So
I personally, they're essential date night. We need it. We have 3 kids. We have 5 dogs.
Not 5 dogs.
I have had.
We don't own any.
We don't own any, but we have 5 dogs. We have my job. It has been crazy for the last 25 years. We need date nights because I found when we are able, the atmosphere matters. And when we're in the house, it's the house. It's everything that's needed in the house. It's what everybody wants from you. It's the laundry. It's the cleaning. It's the everything. Because at work I'm one person. When I come home, I'm wife. I'm mommy. I'm all these things. So date night for me is essential because that allows me to get away from everybody talking and then talk to me. Because communication. My love language is communication and interactions and stuff like that. So when I have him to myself and now he's focused on me, that for me is everything. So for me, it's essential. And I think that's the key is to know what your triggers are, know what you have need of. Because that's another thing about marriage. You have to not demand, but you have to make sure you get what you need. Right. I think a lot of things go unsaid in relationships. And I always ask the question to a couple, but does he know this? Well, no. Well, how do you think he's going to figure out this is how you're feeling? When I don't feel good, I said, I'm not happy. I'm not happy. Okay, he'll look at me, oh Lord. And I'll explain to him why I'm not happy. And then he may look at me a certain way, but he heard me. And I think that ability to be heard is so important. And then to rectify what's not working. So I know for me, as he said, it's okay for him, but I know it's essential for me. So when I ask him, we need to go out, he'll say, oh, okay. Because he knows I'm in need of it.
What I'm hearing from both couples is I'm very, I'm picturesque. So it's like guiding that boat. When there's rough water, this is what we need to do. It's a little calm here. This is what we need to do. And you guys have both figured out how that works for your household and your relationship. Too bad we can't bottle that and share it with all the other Black couples. I would like a bottle. But I love it.
Everybody's marriage is not the same, and there's no wrong way to do marriage other than go upside each other's heads. So you might want to separate then. You got them kind of problems. Leave.
Right. Yeah. But I think over the last 2 weeks, we've probably went out 3 times. Probably had 3 different date nights or date afternoons, whatever you want to call them. And it wasn't even that something was going on. We just decided, we need to do this. We both had the time. We're both home. We said, let's just get out of the house and let's do something. And just strengthen our marriage, strengthen our stuff, work on each other.
Yeah,
work with each other. Just have fun. It doesn't have to be a bad situation and say, we need a date night because I'm stressed out. It was good to go out and say, we're both in a good spot right now. Let's just go out and have fun.
But I think it's strategy, Shima. So it's coming up with strategies on how to resolve issues, how to reach. I remember years ago we did a circle, a wheel to analyze all components of our marriage. Love, relationships, spirituality, sexual intimacy. And I remember when we both came back on how we felt we did from 1 to 100, we were, we had a lot of 80s, we had a lot of 60s. And I remember, us saying, okay, what do we do to remedy that? And one of the things we found, and Brandy's right, it's hard to go to people that don't know about marriage. But I saw one of my other besties on the line, Shara, and and when we were young in our marriage, her and her husband, one of those couples we always went to. They're even married longer than we are, so they were a good source of information for us. They were so supportive, and when we had those issues, real issues that we knew we couldn't bring to our family, we knew we couldn't find in front of our children, so we went to them to have that discussion because you needed it. And sometimes in a relationship, you need a little bit of help, and finding those sound couples that will keep your secrets, that will give you real advice, and will pray for you, tell you the truth. They will get us on the phone and say, okay, Mimi, you're a little wrong on that one. So go back and, fix that one. Oh, okay. I'm upset, but I heard what they said, and I respect them enough to then take it back and, okay, Lamont, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do this. And that's how those strategies, those couples that helped us over the years, tremendously. That helped us tremendously.
I gotta poke the bear a little bit right here, because when you guys put these, we posted it, a lot of comments came up on the website, on the Facebook page, and everybody wants to talk about the fact that we're stating Black love is real. And then they say, well, what about all the other colors? What do you guys say about that comparison? Anybody can
Let's be more straight to the point. They didn't say everybody's love was real. They said white love was real.
Yes,
but
they did.
y'all got your own platform, so go see about them. Because last time I checked, y'all didn't have to jump a broom to signify marriage because of certain situations going on at the time.
That right
We're
there.
not the ones that wrote the books that identified the white, black, brown, red, and yellow man. We're not the ones that did that. So go research your own history and fix that.
All right now. All right now.
Brandy.
That's right.
Well, yeah, I did see the comments, and I was thinking about it. And I was like, well, you know what? It's not that, they don't know what we go through on a daily. They don't have that experience.
Right.
They are not looked at funny on the job or treated a certain way on the job, or they have a certain, and I hate to say it, but they have a certain privilege that we don't get. And for us to stay, for us not to lose our minds, our Black love is what keeps us grounded. That spouse that's home and can identify with that struggle is what is the difference between Black love and white love. I say, yeah, love is love, but there's a difference with Black love.
The difference.
And listen, I have to say this too, to put this out there, right? Because in every other culture, right, there's nothing wrong with them being proud of their culture.
Right.
However, when we come up and we say Black lives matter, Black love is real, you know what I mean? It's like we shouldn't be proud of our culture, but we know that's the systems. But I just had to say that because
I love that. But
that's absolutely right.
It's true. Like I remember young, and this was like probably year 2 or 3 of our marriage. And I remember I'm like in his face, like nagging, just what Brandy said not to do. He walked in, and I'm just nagging him, and I'm just going. And I can tell you the few times God spoke to me, like audibly heard his voice, and this was one of those times. And God told me in my ear, "Shut up." I tell you, no lie.
That was yesterday?
God told me, "Shut up." And he said, "Look at him." I immediately shut up, and Lamont saw something was going on in my head. And he said, look, the Spirit of God said, look at him. And I looked right at him. He said, this is not about you. God told me this is not about me. And he showed me the darkness that my husband was in because of what the world was beating him down about.
Absolutely.
And immediately God told me to tell him it's okay. And that even if he needed to quit his job, that I needed to release him to do it because he was so beaten down. And the moment I said it to him, the blackness that I was seeing lifted off of him.
Yes.
And he didn't immediately quit his job. But just what he said, the ability for me to see the struggle in his spirit and his soul, not his spirit, but his soul. And I never forgot that. And from that day on, what do you need me to do to support you? That is what Black love is about. Understanding what our men go through every day, being pulled over, being talked about, not given the promotions at work, even though they're doing the job.
Followed in the store.
Security after them. How many times he was pulled over by the cops in his own car that he paid his own, that he was paid, some of them were paid for, and he was still pulled over. That is what Black love is. When they come home, to give them that sanctuary, that baby, I got you. And we win together. You and me, we're together forever. And you don't ever have to doubt my love for you. I got you. I got you, boo-boo. That's what Black love is.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
That is good stuff. Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, what do you say about the naysayers? And well, Brandy, we heard how you feel about it, and I hope they heard it too.
I'm gonna shorten it a little bit. Ultimately, everybody reserves their own right, to be negative or hate, and that's fine. I don't share your energy. If love's real on your side of the street, you should see about it. Outside of that, I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of my wife. I'm proud of my community. I love everything that's Black, and I'm unapologetically so. So I really don't have anything more to give to
that.
Related to the comment.
And I'm glad you said it like that too, because just leading up to the show, you wonder, what the conversations are going to be like. And when I saw them, I was like, okay, I knew they were coming. Listen, like Tracy said, anytime we highlight anything that's wonderful in our culture, it's questioned because how dare we enjoy or embrace or celebrate our culture or our color for anything, because we haven't earned that right. After all these years, we still haven't earned that right. So I just wanted to see, and I'm glad that I got both takes. I'm glad that you guys were able to give them both takes on it, because regardless of how they try to diminish us, the Black love is not going anywhere. I'm grateful for that, and I'm grateful to have the two of you speak about it. Tracy, you have a question? Because I got a syrupy sweet question.
No, but my love, we are at the end of the show.
We are.
We are.
Oh no. Okay. Can I get it in for this? Your last?
It has to be really quick. Really quick.
How did you know that it was love with your loved one? How did you know? What was the feeling, or what was the date, or the time, or what were you doing? And it was just like,
you got to give them like 2 words.
You got to give them.
We was on a cruise to nowhere, and we was in the same cabin, and we both looked at each other, and I think I said, or she said, "I love you," and I said, "I know, I do." No, we just looked at each other. And I said, "I know, I love you too." And that's when we knew we was
it was a month after we started dating. It was a month after we started
Let alone
dating.
when I first met her, I told her I'm gonna marry you. So other than that, I already knew who she was.
Maurice and Brandy.
We knew we wasn't dating, just date pretty much immediately. Both of us were intentional about the fact that we weren't just having fun. We were looking to build something, and so it is.
That's wonderful.
I love it. Well, everybody, we are at the end of the show. We love Black Love. We love that these two amazing couples have come here to share, their relationships, share about love, share that Black love is actually real, everybody. So we will see you all next Wednesday right here on Fem Talk at 8:30 p.m. You do not want to miss it. We are still talking love and relationships in this February, along with celebrating Black History Month. We love you all. We'll see you next week.
Mm-hmm.